All right, this is part 2 of our database connection for programming assignment number 9. So at this point we've got our connection. The user selects a category and then the display or the results are dictated by the user's choice. We'll go ahead and run it just to refresh your memory of what it did. See here while it's doing its thing, we're using the eval method. Now, using the eval method, that just takes our data and puts it in as a string, and you're going to see our results aren't as pretty as we'd like them to be. So what we're going to have to do is format that data so it's displayed the right way. While this is doing its thing also, within this web config file is that connection we created. Let's assume you've created a connection and you're pointing to a database somewhere on your machine. I can go in and look at your web config file, find out the location of that database, and point or modify that web config file in your file to point to a location on my machine so you can actually see it. Here's the data. It's ugly. It's supposed to be money, but it's not pretty. So if we select confections, boom, so we've got auto post back. So let's go ahead and we'll close this. And we'll start out with that web config file. I'll go show you that so you can see what it was I was talking about. Here's our data connection string. That's pointing to our data source, and it says right here, here's the path to get to my file on my local machine. So when you submit your file, I don't need your database. I've got a copy of the database. All I have to do is open your web config file and point to the path on my database. Save it. When it runs, it no longer points on the path to your machine, it's pointing on mine. So we've got that out of the way. Let's go look at our display. Okay. Now, we've got this alternating template, and that's the display that we selected. Let's go through and let's look at right here, this eval. Now what we want to do, we'll go format, so format currency, comma, or open parentheses, put a comma at the end, 2 decimal points, and then another close parentheses. Now I'm going to copy that code, and anywhere we have the eval, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. Now it's only for product sales. Product name, I'm not worried about the formatting of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it and see what we look like now. And all we did was pass that value that we brought in the eval, we passed it over to format currency. I could have done format double or whatever number format that I wanted, but for this one we're talking about money. So as this loads up, come on, there we go. Okay, now it's money. we've got our currency. And it's far prettier than it was before. Product name, and then product sales. Grains and cereals. Boom, there we go. Okay. So, go ahead and close that. And you remember where, if you wanted to change the path on your connection string, it's in web config. Remember the tag that it's in web config. It's in the configuration tag, but it's the connection strings. All right, and here